This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. You are entering Tara's terrestrial aura. Are you ready? I repeat, this is not a test. This is not a test. This is not a test. Hello. Welcome to my channel, Tara here. If you're not familiar, if this is the first video you're seeing of me, this is my YouTube channel, Terrestrial Aura, a space where we just kind of talk and co-create and stimulate of things of conscious matter of form that are often not so freely expressed. And if so, I take it on in a different direction, which is the direction of my state of being, emitting it into the frequency waves of this momentum of now to create a monumental structure that will live on in the cyberspace, in the worldwide of webs in which we reside. So with that being said, today I have a very interesting topic at hand that I would like to discuss, and it kind of falls in the hands of astrology. So as we all know right now, with time being of the essence in this momentum, I will say, because it won't always be this way. But at the current energy we are in as of today, which is February 16th, a Mars day, we are still within a stellium in Aquarius. And with that being said, it brings a lot of energy, a lot of energy into the elemental force of like all that is pretty much like society. And there have been many different aspects of it that intrigue me, to be completely honest, because I feel like it's just one of those things, like being of an Aquarius nature and already having my Aquarius stellium that I have, which includes my my Mercury, my Venus, my Sun, and my rising is also all Aquarius. And then also there's an asteroid there and I can't remember it, so I'll tell you that in just a little bit. But yeah, so having a lot of planets already in my Aquarius house, it kind of brings into the element of like this ability that I've always kind of had, that I'm realizing now that I believe it's actually taken on a whole new form within itself. And what it is an aspect of being able to see the bullshit, I guess we can say. See through everything, see through people, see them for exactly what they're trying not to portray and what they really are, which is crazy. Oh, also Jupiter, I forgot to mention that, guys. Jupiter's in my first house, but it's in Aquarius still, so it's like affected by all of this as well. But yeah, so it's just kind of like one of those things, and it makes you question, because it's like you want to be really social and you want to be out there and doing all the things that you would normally be doing, but at the same time it's like you're able to acknowledge aspects of other areas in which it makes you question, because it's just like what is really happening here? Like, what is really going on? And then you kind of see it, and then it makes you kind of question everything, like, whoa. So it's interesting. Okay, so I just looked up the current energies, and as of today, we have Jupiter in Aquarius, which I also share. We have Saturn in Aquarius, which is so funny because Saturn, Capricorn, actually rules my 12th house. Even though my planets are in Aquarius, they are in the house of Capricorn, which rules Saturn, and my Saturn falls within my 10th house, which is the actual planet that rules Saturn, so the house that rules Saturn, excuse me. Also Venus is in Aquarius, which, as we all know, I just mentioned, I have that in my Aquarius as well. And lastly, we have Mercury in Aquarius as far as the stellium goes, and Mercury is our form of communication, which is also something that falls in my Aquarian house as well, in my original natal charts. We also have Taurus and Uranus, or Uranus and Taurus, I guess I should say. And then we have Black Moon Lilith and Taurus. Mars in Taurus, and a whole lot of things going on, right? So that's as of this exact moment, keep in mind. So it's just really interesting how these aspects all fall into the placements of our momentums of now. And it's funny because this exact moment, as I record this video, the ascendant is Taurus, which is so funny because it has Mars in it right now, and it's so pretty much it's an action, which goes into the second house of Gemini, which Gemini is my Chiron. I also have 2 placements of Gemini in my chart, 2 houses that are ruled by Gemini. So it's just interesting. I also have 2 houses that are ruled by Sagittarius, no Virgo, and no Pisces. So that's my life. But enough about me, because this isn't necessarily about me per se, but it's about the whole idealism of the way that the world is and how things work. Because what is so intriguing is the way that these planetary alignments happen. They're so telling of the energy of others whenever you carry these aspects of being able to already have that energy so firmly within yourself, and then you start seeing the way and the behavior of others. It kind of like, it changes up the game to some extent. It makes you kind of like almost want to step out of the game and just observe the game for a bit instead of being a part of it, because you want to kind of see the other moves of the players, because you want to just kind of like acknowledge the fact that everyone has an agenda. When it really comes down to it, everyone has an agenda. Everyone has some type of goal, some type of objective in which they are seeking to attain. And whether that agenda be something good or bad is kind of, it's pointless to decipher, because really what is good, what is bad, it's just a common concept that we use because we're embedded to believe that things are good versus bad versus just being, when everything really is just a state of being. Nothing is really good or bad. It's just in that momentum of that now for that exact situation. It can be either taken in a lighter or darker aspect of note, and that is up to the interpreter and the participant in which is being affected or affecting the situation. So whenever we emit these concepts of good or bad or judgment or placements or asking what is someone's behavior and why is it that way, it makes us question our own actions and our own behaviors, asking ourselves, why do we care? And that brings us back to my point. Why do we care? Why do we care about the behaviors of others? Why do we care about how we are perceived? Why do we care about these elements that are beyond ourselves, that really have nothing to do with ourselves, but we identify ourselves as because of the fact that society has bred us and fed us to believe that our conceptual matter, our physicality, our form is something of a conscious form of a construct of someone outside of ourselves, instead of the person that we are, the being that we are being, the human that we are, the way that we are seeing. So when we take these elemental forces out of the equation, omitting the thoughts of how another may perceive our state of being, we come back to the answer of ourself. How can anyone be the impersonation of what they are other than the state of their being, the state of their momentum of their now? We have so many aspects and so many different ways of being. And whenever we limit ourselves to behave a certain way based on the belief structures of a society, even of a friend, of a family, of whatever you want to call it, whenever we limit ourselves to behave in a certain demeanor to be able to appease the others that are around us, or to appease society in a way to make it seem as if it's okay to be the way that you are because you're afraid of being who you really are we really being ourselves? Are we really answering the call of our divinity? Are we really accepting the script that we have been written into in this universe, that we write our own scripts within, outside of the outline within we have been given? And is there an outline? Is our natal chart, are these aspects of us the outline that we go by? Is this something that can be changed? Are these elements of us something that are set in stone, or are we the crystal to ignite the stone, to be able to make the wheel move into the way and the pattern in which we hope to see it be, in the way in which we find it more of a blessing to be? So just some food for thought, because I feel like it's a perfect time to feed on thought right now. Many of us are in the midst of a lot of winter weather and just like snowstorms and things like that. I know I am personally. So it's a great time for self-reflection, and it's also a time for great self-mirroring. Mirror yourself and ask yourself, look into the mirror and ask yourself, and just completely let yourself be. Am I truly being the most authentic version of myself? Am I truly being the essence of the existence that I hope to be here, and that I hope to see the reflection back within the world around me? Or am I living in a state of perpetual lie, a state of questioning why at all times so much, to where I'm forgetting to be able to see the now, the what is, the how is, the how I am perceived upon myself, because the precision of ourselves is the true vision. It's not about what outsiders see. It's not about the outside world. It's about the internalized aspects of ourselves that we are projecting into this said world. The energy that we are emitting, the frequency of our cause, of our momentum. Those are the things that create our matter here. So that pretty much sums up this little channeled message of me, because it's only me that I'm channeling myself. But there are more elements to this foundation that will come as we dive a little bit deeper. Also, I do want to let you know that I have taken initiative to start back on my astrological kind of like, I'll say, series to some extent, even though it's not really a series yet because I only have one video. But I do want to dive more deeper into the aspects of my 12th house energy, because I do feel that a lot of people find so many stigmas with 12th house and 8th house energy. So I think that I will be doing 8th house as well. But for now, I'm going to focus on the 12th house upcoming. I've already recorded the first video. It's just a matter of getting it to be completely put together, or there are aspects of it that haven't been yet formed. So I plan to create those aspects to add them in. The videos may be a little bit longer of those natures, just because they do entail quite a bit of detail. Other than that, I do want to mention, because I said I would tell you and I completely didn't, so here it is. So my Mercury is in Aquarius stellium. My Vesta is the asteroid. That's the one that I was missing. So Vesta and then Venus and Sun are technically in my stellium. And even though my Jupiter is in my first house and my ascendant, it's not in my stellium. But if you think about it, that still puts, let's see, just to kind of give you all an idea of why I see through all the bullshit right now with all this Aquarius energy. So that means I have an Aquarius as of natally being born on this planet. I have my sun in Aquarius, and then I have my moon opposing, by the way, guys. It's in Leo, but that's a whole side note. But okay, so I have my sun in Aquarius, my Mercury, my Venus, my Jupiter, and my ascendant, and then also my Vesta. So, and then also my Sagittarius is pretty much ruled by Aquarius, and that is like a big part of my whole existence too, because it's my midheaven. And like I said, my Uranus is in Sagittarius. So actually, I guess that would mean more or less that my Sagittarius rules my Uranus. And also my Saturn is in Sagittarius, which is so funny because, as I mentioned, my 12th house is actually ruled by Capricorn, which brings the Sagittarius energy ruling my 12th house, which is crazy, right? But yeah, anyway, I definitely think that we should all take some time, look into our own natal charts, look into how this energy could be affecting us astrologically, whilst also taking the time to be able to acknowledge the aspects of ourselves and the reflection of the projections of the outside world, and taking that as an introversion into ourselves to be able to convert it into an understanding of all that is, and what we are facing during these times where so much is becoming so vividly clear. And like I said before, it may not be for everyone that these things are becoming so clear, but for me personally, I'm definitely feeling that vibe. So if you enjoy my content, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Also, if you are feeling the energy as well of kind of like just seeing through all of the madness more transparently than ever, or if you have Aquarius placements as well, an Aquarius stellium, or anything affected by the current energies of the Aquarius stellium that we have going on right now, definitely share. I'm all for it, and I'd love to hear it. And also, if I'm not mistaken, right now we have Venus squaring Mars, just astrologically in general. And let me take a look at that. Let me take a look at that. So, Aquarius, Mars. I should remember this, but yeah, my Mars is in Scorpio, and all of this sets at my galactic center. So pretty much, guys, I'm just diving into the galactic center of my universe. How are you all? All right, anyways. All right, I love you all so much. I thank you for being here. I thank you for experiencing my content. And I hope that within the experience of my experience of sharing, that you were able to take something out of it of value to you in some conscious form or in some form of matter and way. I love you. I hope you have a beautiful momentum of your now. I'll have much more content coming soon. And now to the outro.